So this little controller box isn't totally watertight at all. I'm going to put a little balloon on this thing and do an old school kind of waterproofing on this. So I thought I'd do a quick video about that. So you just need some basic balloons. If you have extra leads, so these are just extensions, like I think 4-inch receiver extensions. You can get them really cheap anywhere online. They make this a little easier. Once you get this thing done, you don't want to get into it again if you can help it. So I have the Servo, the ESC, and then 2 extra leads, one for some lights and one for a motor fan, and then the little aux wire here so that I can have that set on channel 5. If I want to let someone else try, I can just use channel 5 to basically turn the power from almost nothing, 10%, up to full power. And it seems like a cool little feature, so I'm gonna use that. First, we'll just slide this all in here, solidly plugged in, push the antenna down, push it down on the inside so you don't get extra stress on that, because these are all going to get clamped up at the end here. Yeah, so there's some room in the top. So I hold them here and then I push down on this, sort of let the pressure off, push down the antenna, and then grab again so that the antenna isn't pulled. And I want a nice small zip tie. Pull this down pretty far, but not right at the top because I need this to fold over a bit. Fold that over and then pull that all out. Okay, so there's the bottom part, and this would be pretty good, but this isn't totally watertight still. The next thing, if you ever get some silicone earplugs for your diffs, you might have an extra one or two around, and that's what I use for this. There's probably something better, but this seems to work pretty good. So take our little goopy thing, I'll peel this back a little bit of it and kind of stick that in to the middle of all the wires. Roll this into a little cylinder, wrap it around your wires like this. Let's see if this, hopefully good angle, sort of wrap it around like that, get it in, and then take this and pull it out over the silicone, and it'll stick, or at least this stuff sticks to the balloon, so you kind of got to pull it. And what you want is to get like a ball of it around all the wires with a little bit of stuff still sticking out, and then push it all in, work it all in to all of the bits there. They're still good with tension on that. Plugs are still good. So this is you only really do this if you're going to plan to be completely dunking it in the water. I am. I love doing that. My cheap ones have handled it, so if this expensive stuff can't handle it, then I don't know why it's expensive. Anyways, really the thing with water, the main thing is you just got to dry it off after, and oil or grease everything that moves that's metal, and just get it dried off and greasy as quickly as you can after using it. Then you're good. And maybe unplug the fans if you're going to actually completely dunk it underneath. So here's what we got here. So now I got this zip tie at the top here, zip tie at the bottom, and then a wad of silicone in between. Get this top one really tight, bottom one's good and tight. That off. Now we have a nice little pouch that should be pretty much completely watertight, and you can check if you get a little bit of air in here, which is good, and try to push the air out. The air doesn't go out. See how it's all swelling up everywhere? So it's airtight, and that means it's going to be sort of watertight. Then the trick is just to make sure it all fits in your controller box if you have one. If you don't, you can just leave this out. Did a little rearranging. Yeah, so that's good. That'll clamp right down. Because if I do want to do some more programming, I can just unplug this lead here and insert the B-link and do the tuning. Anyways, let's get this all put back together. Alright. Looking alright. Make sure it works test. Put a little motor fan on here. I had an old one lying around and just zip tied it on to help keep the motor cool. There's not really room for much else on here anyways, so anyways. This isn't a very good servo compared to some of the other ones I've had. Once I turned up the BEC voltage, it's a lot faster. Finally got the B-link so I could program the ESC. Turned up the servo and was able to set some more things on there finally. Unless you have a PC, you can't do any programming with the Castle ESCs unless you get one of these. Then you can do it all with your phone. And I have the power, that power thing turned all the way down. That was full throttle with it turned all the way down. So now turn this up like that. And I'm not gonna go full throttle, but pretty cool little feature. You could use that to do other stuff too. I'm not sure. I haven't experimented with it much yet. So good to go, I think. Pretty happy there. Love this controller, by the way. So good. So that's a quick and cheap way to waterproof your receiver pretty well. Can't wait to take it out again.